The farthest we've gone yet, past Africa, past the Netherlands, past the United States, past even Canada, we reach Borealis in the far-flung plain of air. Here we come to a massive, sprawling city amongst a floating island and an endless sea of clouds. We see griffins, Aarakocra, and floating crystal skyships fly overhead in a mass city of ivory and gold. We come to a tower that stretches out from a lonely, smaller island, floating amongst many over the massive, sprawling city. Inside the tower, we see Gale, sitting in a library with another channeler named Cirrus. Gale?
Yeah.
You've got this piece of arcane chalk in your hand, and you're knelt down at the ground, with the chalk in one hand and a spellbook in the other. And you sort of drag the chalk across the wooden floor, trying to chart down these glyphs. You're studying a new spell that would help traveling planes a lot easier. Because while a lot of the times, the threats you fight from the 5 planes often come to you, you've never been very good at opening portals sort of in shorter situations to go chase after any of your bounties. You see a fellow channeler named Cirrus sort of look over through the room from you with sort of like half-kept interest in your work. There are books and shelves scattered all across the room that sort of seem to stretch an arc over you as if spectating you while you do this. And then coming into the room is a woman. She's got sort of these flowing white robes that kind of descend down into a dress with this red shoulder cape and this jewelry kind of embroidered all over her body. She has this white sort of headscarf flowing down over her, and she is an Earth Genasi. She's got sort of this dark brown skin, like sort of like tanned cliffside rocks, and her hair flows down in these straight, raggedy strands that kind of look like tilled earth. And she comes in holding an envelope. And she says to you, "Whenever you're ready, all of the preparations for the assignment are complete." And she holds out the letter to you.
Alright, let me finish this first. I naturally have to in the middle of this, but as soon as I am done with this, I will get...
She kind of walks over to your side, kind of over the arcane ritual, kind of holding the letter still, and she looks over your shoulder at your work. And go ahead and make an Arcana check for me. The portal sort of starts to glow as you get the glyphs right. And she smiles at you and she says, "Not bad, not bad. Definitely an improvement."
Thank you. I'm not exactly the best at this, I'm aware, but we're working on it.
So you sort of let the spell fade, and all of the chalk on the ground sort of dissipates. As she then hands you this letter with this large purple seal. And she says, "Out of all the 5 planes, we've always had the most interference on the material, as that is where the 4 others coincide. But at this academy, we're receiving a large number, well, breaks in a certain academy's wards. We're sending you to go investigate."
Alright, I suppose that makes sense. I do look like a student, and I am of the age. I'm gonna cut it open. The letter.
Yeah. She says, "We've kept this for a while now. But we think you're finally ready to investigate what's been going on."
Thank you. I will do my best, I suppose.
she says, we'll be sending a field agent to sort of coincide with your reports once things are all said and done. While you're there, try to make friends, talk to people, and see what's going on. Whatever is making these planar anomalies and breaches in the sort of astral connection, slay it and return to us.
All right. I will get that done. To my best of my ability.
She smiles at you, and she says, there's a lot in it for this one. It's a big job, and it's a big responsibility. Come back and, you'll certainly be moving up the ranks, to say the least.
Yes.
And, she sort of leaves you to it, and walks away with the letter. And you sort of look down at the sort of glassy pearl that rests in the envelope with the letter.
Yep.
And, do you do?
I mean, I'm gonna start getting my stuff all together.
All right, so
Obviously.
you sort of get up, sort of slide the spell book back into the shelf it came from, pocket the letter, and start to walk.
Yes. I'll wave a bye to Sirius and I'll just continue on my way.
He sort of gives you a very curt but respectful nod as you walk out.
Oh, the
Once
exit's
again-
that way?
No, that's just a balcony. Sorry about that.
Fair. Sorry, I wasn't aware.
And once again, we fade to black.
And now shit goes down.
And now shit goes down.
Truly goes down.
From this point onward, you all attend the Synthris Wizarding Academy.
But do we really?
I don't know. Do you?
Basically, maybe.
Secretly, every time it's like, you have to go home, it's just hiding from Ensley. Like, I did nothing, fuck you.
Don't trust Ainsley, man.
And everything went according to plan.
You all meet up at random points throughout your semester, and through several adventures, you all become friends. You meet the freshman class's senior buddy, Elliot, and you make friends with a girl named Miriam, helping her break into the restricted section of the library. Much later in the year, Elliot tasks a group of you to head into a warehouse in the middle of New York City and retrieve a stolen spellbook that was stolen from the senior house. On this adventure, in the warehouse, there were several skeletons and zombies and ghouls, a few of which succeeded in killing your classmate and friend Miriam. Julian cast a revivify spell, bringing her back to life. To all of your knowledge, the first recorded resurrection in history. Although, whether or not she actually died is a matter of debate. Julian, your hair has gone white, and you've lost your left arm.
Still hurts. It's just like it just happened, man.
Your arm,
Really?
like, you sometimes have an edgy elbow you don't have anymore. Try to scratch it, but it's not there.
Every day. The phantom pains get
See
me.
it
The Phantom Pain.
Nurgle in the background laughing at you.
Julian, you killed a child.
Wait a second.
Nice job.
Did we
That's
succeed?
why you're the best, Julian.
That's why you're the
Did we
best,
run
bro.
away though, or did we stay on the bridge to fight?
But right now, the car has been broken down for several hours.
Fuck.
Oh,
We ran, boys. We ran.
Shit.
Alessia wiggles
Oh.
as she sticks her head out of the main engine of the red sports car you guys acquired in New York. The sounds of clanking metal and whirring machinery sounding every few minutes. Elliot sits in the driver's seat, his hand on the key. Engine every few seconds as Alessia calls out, "Try now." You have no idea where you are. What started as a simple ride into Normie Town to find a missing textbook has resulted in a week-long joyride in a few back to the school. As you pulled alongside the road, Yertle and Dante together have gathered sticks and lit a fire just outside of the trailer most of you have been riding in the entire time. Gale, you're currently sitting on top of the trailer, sort of balancing the crystal sword on the edge of your hand, looking over the mist. You haven't seen another car drive past in days, or seen any other sort of road sign or landmark, just open country road. The only signs of life being your friends, the sounds of cicadas, and the distant howls of coyotes off in the forest. I would like each of you to sort of go around where you so deem, and describe what you're doing right now.
Well, this is like, how long is this after the incident?
A week.
Okay, so like, how am I feeling?
That's entirely up to you. It's been a week, and the week has just been driving. You guys were at first in just sort of this red sports car, but it got a little bit too cramped, kind of stacking everyone in there, especially with Yertle sort of driving, sort of riding alongside the... So you guys also acquired this small little camper
We
that you
stole an
basically attached to
RV.
the car.
we acquired.
And you're all basically just sort of sitting around outside of it. This is the first chance you've had to stretch your legs in a long time, and you've been here at this side of the road. Point.
Well, during this time of travel, Leku's probably cast Arcane Lock on his bag, not that it, just to make sure no one's stuffing around with his stuff. And, sitting by the fire, I suppose. Reading a book he brought.
Dante, what are you doing?
Gonna clean the gun. It's important.
Yeah, so you're just sitting around kind of polishing it. You've got basically like a glasses cleaner that you're sort of wiping it down with, and it's got this beautiful sheen. You can see yourself.
Gotta take care of the family gun.
Probably been like subconsciously curing woundsing myself like every day just to feel okay within the week.
You have within this time, though, sort of conjured this long-lasting mage hand
Oh hell yeah!
that sort of floats eerily outside of the hole in your arm where there's no longer any flesh. And it just is completely smoothed over without even the bone left of your shoulder. And sort of as your clothes just kind of hang limp, there's sort of this eerie sort of length of where an arm would be that kind of just becomes this bright blue hand.
I'm probably still in my infancy of practicing the mage hand, but I don't know, he probably grabs his stomach. I assume we didn't really plan for a lot of food.
Yeah, we do.
You guys aren't starving to death. But you're very hungry, as the last Denny's you guys passed like a day
Denny's!
So that means all my rations are probably gone, as my explorer's kit came with rations.
ago. No, if you have rations, you have them. If you'd like to eat
Okay.
one today, you'll have to mark it down.
Okay, gotcha.
But as of right now, today, none of you have eaten.
Okay.
Mm. So just a normal day.
So just a normal day for Alessia.
Yeah. Leku whispers something to his bag and pulls out a loaf of bread and passes it, like, points it towards Julian.
I will attempt to mage handily grab it.
Make an Arcana check.
You got
You
this
definitely
shit.
you sort of send the mage hand over and you grab it.
There we go.
And as you sort of start to pull it back to yourself, it flickers and drops the bread on the ground. And it kind of rolls in the grass as you sort of 5-second rule, conjure the
Yeah.
mage hand again and pick it up and
It's
sort
like
of
he
bring it
sort
back
of
closer to
cringes
yourself.
at that.
He still stuffs it in his mouth and attempts to stand up.
Whoa, what the fuck is going on with my camera? Why the hell am I dragging around my camera? What is... Okay.
Well, what's Miriam? Kind of, how's she looking? Just
You've
shook?
seen at least like 30 times in the week. She's instinctively risen her hand to her neck to sort of feel the skin as it's sort of like reformed over the wound.
Silence emanates from me.
So I start blasting.
Yeah, I'll get up and go.
So
go-
Dante starts blasting.
I'll go ask Elysia about the car. I'm gonna go check up on the car.
Well, also you see, just real quick to finish, you see Miriam is also reading for most of this time.
Okay.
She's sort of reading and rereading Arcanad textbooks that she's stolen from the Forbidden section.
Oof.
You see also the blue lantern that you've acquired sort of eerily sits next to the campfire, sort of making this contrasting glow of orange and blue from the fire that sort of shines out around in the misty forest. And you see Hans is just very cutely perched on top of the trailer, just kind of eventually kind of pecking at the metal every now and again.
Ow.
Freckles comes up behind Dante and licks the back of his hair.
Just assassinates him.
Assassination.
Freckles takes you out.
How are we looking, fellas?
You kind of hear just like assorted car noises from the engine as Elliot just continually turns the key. Alesia, make an investigation check.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oof.
Alesia, you have no idea what's wrong.
She doesn't know
This
how
car.
diesel engines work. She knows how steam engines work only.
I got water.
The engine in this car, it seems to be working. Sort of all the pumps and the pistons seem to be flowing correctly.
Wait, do we have gas?
It's just out of gas.
There's definitely gas in the car. There's not too much, but Elliot did sort of buy a lot at the last gas station you were at.
We overgassed it.
Okay. Well, then probably Elysia while Julian's walking
Actually,
up
that'll
his-
probably become important. Someone write down, probably Alesia, that you have a gallon of petrol.
Okay.
Gallon of petrol, Jesus.
Hot
Big
damn.
one, a big one.
Did someone say oil?
I need a gallon of coffee. I'm done.
I get a
Don't
liter
say
of
no.
cola.
Someone say fucking
So you
anything
got the
about
big
oil?
red gallon tank with sort of the black hose.
Dante, you're not starting a war over this.
Strahd has oil.
I'm gonna be back real quick.
Elysia is probably talking with Tearful about getting this car set up to be a steam engine or like converting the URV into like a steam car. While before she actually realizes Julian, even if he says anything, she'd still continue talking. And then look up at him and just. I know how steam engines work. I don't know how the fuck this shit works. Look, steam engines, you got like pressure and pistons and all this. You got like this. You got petrol, which is like a weird gradient for fuel. It's. But I have an idea. See, I'll take the car, we'll completely destroy it, and we'll turn the RV into a car. Powered by steam. It's gonna be great.
How long is that gonna take?
I don't know, but Tearful agrees with me.
Tearfully, metallically yelps in excitement.
Lazy gives him a few
And
heads up.
asking for help.
Yurdo, are you doing anything?
What Yodel is? What kind of tree is this? Does this bear any fruit? Is the main question.
Go ahead and make a nature check for me.
Because depending on that answer will depend on what Yodel's actually going to be doing to this tree.
Oh no. You're doing the tree.
Yeah. Does it bear fruit, or is it a tree that does not?
This forest is mostly hemlock trees. The elderberries and water hemlock, they are toxic,
Oh.
Yeah.
so it's not super great to eat them, but it does produce fruit, I guess. Things.
I mean, if it's not the stuff that's safe for us to eat, I will go with my if it didn't bear fruit option. I'm trying to druid craft it so that it grows into where it dries up and dies. Type thing. I'm rushing its speed of aging.
The tree?
Yeah,
That's
the
a little
tree.
morbid.
We need firewood. Fuck up. Do you have any better way of getting firewood without?
Yeah, I have
having
an
to
axe
wait?
built into my hand.
Yeah, but we need it dry. That
I have
good
a,
one.
I have a saw hand.
Doesn't
I
dry out.
literally
the
have a
fucking
saw
wood,
hand.
though. What I'm doing is going to dry it out, make it good kindling.
How long have we been at the car?
Yurdo, make another wisdom check for me.
Sweet.
You
18 is
succeed
the number.
in sort of causing 4 or 5 of the main branches of this tree to sort of shrivel up, and you hear this creaking and cracking of wood as they sort of all press into their bark. And you see these branches just sort of instinctively, just by themselves, snap clean off the tree and fall soundlessly to the ground with a small thud. Kind of like that.
Do we need any more firewood? Guys, on the fire.
How's it
Dante,
looking?
it is running a little low.
Toss him over.
You'll scoop up those branches and put them in the flames.
They're not super ready for going right in because they're just like actual living wood branches that sort of have like
That's still living wood.
well, they're not. It's not living wood
Oh,
anymore. It's
leaves.
dead. You killed it. But the branches still
Leaf
sort of have all
bird.
these branching little twigs and stems sort of branching off them. They all have leaves, so you'd want to kind of chop
Yeah,
it down
I'll
first.
Strip those off and throw them to the side.
Using what?
somewhere
Huh?
where-
What you gonna use to do it?
A knife!
I'm going to use the fucking sword I have. Fucking talking about.
No, it's fine. I pull out my knife.
Well, Dante, there's a lot of branches.
There's a lot of branches, so
No, it's okay. I
Come-
just let me. It'll be quicker. Let me just.
you could give me a knife and we can both do multiple branches.
All right. I pull out one of my myriad of knives
See? Boom.
and
We
hand
both
him
have.
an extra.
It's not super important, but both of you make survival checks.
Oh shit! Am I good at those? I'm all right. 2.
Don't know if my click actually fucking worked.
I don't think it did.
I think my sheet's broken. Oh yeah, my sheet page is not responding, but the rest of my Chrome tabs are.
Oh, that's
Nice.
That's
Give it a
really
It
moment.
can be a D&D game without technical issues.
good. Always.
Oh yeah. There we go.
224s.
Oh wow.
It's a camping episode.
Dante, you've camped out before, but Yurtle is much better at the whole fire thing than you are. So you see Yurtle kind of expertly kind of log cabins this fire up, and sort of laying down this intricate sort of kindling and logs, sort of gets the fire kind of blazing again and going brighter out. Gale, what are you doing during this time? Gale just left.
Gale just Gale just fucking left.
You all
He said
see.
he'll be back.
You all see Gale, just kind of looking out over the road, kind of his hands in his hoodie pockets. Just kind of keeping an eye out, essentially.
Kale's still here on my end of Discord.
We just said.
No, Jeff
BRB.
said BRB.
How long have we been here?
Oh.
Like stuck right now?
About 3 or 4 hours.
3 or 4 hours.
Oh, I'm
What's the time?
You have no idea.
I
The car has
opened
a
my
clock?
phone and
It's got a clock.
How dark, like,
charged
dim is the
is
fire?
your-
Sorry.
The fire now is burning very, very bright. The sun is down. It's nighttime currently.
what does
The
my
car's
at least
clock
we're
is
gonna
not. The car's
say?
clock is not working because the car won't turn on. Julian, you pull out your phone,
Yeah.
and it's about like 11 at
Oh,
night.
11?
God.
I always know when the next sunrise is.
Julian's getting antsy. This place is kind of giving him the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, Lucky stands up as well.
I'm gonna hop, skip back over here behind Yodel and kind of play the drums on his back a little. I'm like,
Yeah, buddy.
fellas, you wanna take a walk?
Easy.
Hmm?
That's easy.
I've got an important question though. Where the fuck is the door?
Oh.
In the RV.
It's probably in there.
It is the door. It is the RV's door.
They're like attached at like a spoiler on the car. There's a lot of updraft.
But Leku's getting a bit annoyed by this firelight and just starts casts dancing lights to have 3 little orbs appeared.
What if the fire was green?
Green.
We don't talk about the green
Prestidigitation, eh?
fire.
You guys want
Oh.
to take a walk down the road a little
It's
bit?
very
Just
hard to read in firelight.
see if we
Okay.
can see any signs.
That sounds like a good idea.
Like not too far. Stay within sight of the fire.
I
no,
was
they're
gonna
all
just
connected.
light up a torch.
Ah no!
Alternate
My
reality.
boy!
I start firing my gun.
I go
This was
even
not
more
happening.
white as I look into the bush. Did anybody else see
Was
that?
that a clone of Julian for a
I,
second?
I start burning the tree.
Was that
You
a
also,
clone
you
of
all see a
Julian?
psychic flash.
Okay.
I could have swear I just saw myself in the forest.
Why are we
Michael,
still
would you
here?
be able to set what is it? Fucking the dancing lights to have like the light aura to them?
I need to look
For,
up the
uh,
range real quick.
Yee. I can put it in chat for you. Thank you.
Dancing lights. Only a minute.
Oh shit, it is only a minute. What the fuck?
And
Oh, well, it's
concentration.
It's a cantrip. You can just keep doing it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna reach down and pick up my lantern.
Oh, I create 4, not 3. Oh shit.
Give this man.
Well, that would have been good to know. Like who? Would have been great to
I-
know.
I'm sorry. I thought it was 3. And I can combine the lights, so like, yeah.
You're just making them more angry.
My lantern.
So Julian, whenever you want to use your lantern, I want you to go onto your token and make it so that way your blue aura extends out for 30 feet.
30 feet. Square or circle? Oh,
Oh no, 15. Sorry.
okay.
10-foot radius, so if I move them out here, yay.
Oh, does that actually? Oh, it actually does. That's cool.
So you see Julian picks up this kind of eerily blue lantern. And you said you were gonna go for a walk?
Yeah. Anybody
Yeah.
coming with?
Oh, I ain't letting my buddy go alone.
Thank you.
I'll bring my lights.
Homies help homies.
Yeah.
So I can combine the lights into a humanoid of medium size, but each light only sheds a 10-foot radius.
Leku, I hate to kind of rain on your parade, but with the lantern, you kind of don't really need it.
I know, but it's Lekker's own light. Fuck.
His own
It's my
special
boy's
life.
light.
Aw, I don't have the light cantrip.
Yeah, same here.
You can try to
could've
cast it.
taken...
Yeah, you can
I
just
could, but I don't want to fucking kill myself already. So
finish
Natural
it.
one, just cast a
Yeah.
cantrip.
yeah, that would be how it would end up. I'd fucking try and cast a DC like 10 cantrip and I'd fucking die. Alternatively though, I definitely cast Eldritch Blast into the air.
Oh jeez. Could you not?
It's not exactly like a shooting a flare, because it doesn't produce that much light. But sort of this blast of energy just shoots forth out of your hand and just kind of goes skyward.
There we go.
And like an airplane would see it, but like it's not that illuminating.
Oof.
We could walk to the Denny's.
the one behind us.
I could always go for more Denny's.
I could always go for more coffee.
Well, there's coffee at Denny's.
Yeah, there's usually coffee.
Well, there you go.
I walk up and very gently crouch next to Miriam, and as softly as I can, just, we're gonna go for a walk. If you wanna come. If not, we won't be far.
Oh no.
She says to you, kind of looking up from the book, a little concerned. Who's all going for the walk?
Me, Dante, Yodel, and Leku, I think.
Everyone.
Yeah, I'm
everyone's
coming.
going-
I'm just fucking with my lights.
Yeah, Leku's just messing with his lights.
Just trying
I'm-
to get them evenly
I'm gonna
spaced
come as
out.
well.
Okay,
Before I
Elysius
started on my project.
We might as well.
Elliot
yeah.
just walks out and says, "So wait, are we all going on the walk?" Or
Yeah, we're all going on
Yeah.
a walk apparently.
Freckles.
Miriam says,
No.
Seen that
"I
look.
don't think we should just leave the car here."
No, let's
we're
go.
just gonna go like
Wait,
5
hold
minutes
on a
down the
second.
road and see if we
Freckles
can
is a
see any
light source?
signs.
Freckles has dark vision.
Freckles
I
can see in the
assume
dark.
He can see in the
oh,
dark now.
shit.
We're gonna stay in line of sight of
I
our fire
can't pick
and
up
just,
Freckles.
see if we can see a sign and come back if there's none.
I mean, if you really want, I can stay with the car. There's gonna be a lot of sawing noises, so.
I'd rather either us all go or like at least, don't stay here alone in the fog in the weird.
God, Julian, you're such a wimp.
I mean, if Alasia wants to stay here and you don't want them to be alone, I could stay here and try to get more firewood.
Look, I've seen how this ends, okay? Like, some dude's gonna stand on top of the car and gonna have, like, a hook hand and... car
Yeah,
hook
I
hand
don't
Like
know
how
what-
it
door.
points up to Gale. You
It's
mean like
okay,
that?
don't worry about him.
Well, it'd probably be me standing on top of the car with my saw hand, trying to cut the car.
Yeah, don't.
Understood.
If you don't
You
want
know, that's a
you to be
lot
alone,
more
I'll-
scary than a hook hand, man.
In my coat like arm sleeve, I pull one of my hands in and then I minor illusion a hook and I put it on Julian's shoulder while he's looking away.
Dante, make a sleight of hand check.
Am I good at those? I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure you
I'm
are.
alright.
I'm standing
Yeah, I did
inside.
all right.
I need to get out of the tree.
Julian, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, DC 14.
Oh,
Oh no.
Julian, as this hook lands on your shoulder, you are hereby under the frightened condition.
Oh no!
You have to get away from Dante.
It was just a prank.
alright. I want to very aggressively scramble over the car, making a very unheroic noise as I do. Very unbrave. He screams loudly. What is it to scramble over car in terror?
Acrobatics check.
Alright.
Just gonna like face plant into the car.
I'm in the
Wait.
back grill. I'm flailing around.
You flail around like a fucking like a necromorph, just like sprawling around with your limbs going everywhere. It's like flopping around on the back of this car, and you basically just slide off, and you kind of wedge yourself with a bit of a thud in between the RV where they're hooked up.
Like my legs
And
and my
Hans kind of goes like
torso.
flying off and lands in a different tree and kind of looks confused back at you as you kind of just like leap back into the grass at Dante's feet. Kind of looking up at where he's holding this hook hand.
Are you okay, Julian?
I'm laughing.
I'm very white, and very scared, and very
It's
folded.
cool.
Are
It's
as
like
white
hair
as
and
your
face.
hair.
It's one color.
Yeah.
Hey, it's like your animations.
I'm panting very harshly. Hyperventilating a little, perhaps.
That was a bit crude, Dante.
You, Dante. Just you wait me, I'll fucking kill you.
I hand him the gun.
If there was a goddamn lake that dissolved people, I'll throw you in it, you piece of shit.
Oh no! No!
Here we go again.
Foreshadowing.
No, this is where the fun begins.
This is
I wiggle and try and get myself free of my grave.
I pop him free.
Yeah, with Dante's help, you sort of get out.
Sidling.
There's a very audible.
Nice.
Stand up and dust my pants off and calm down.
Like I said, man, homies help homies.
Get the goddamn Jesus out of me.
Hey man, you gotta lighten up. You've been tense all week.
I lost an arm.
I know.
Literally last week.
Yeah.
At least you didn't lose a friend.
I did! For a moment.
Or
No, no, no.
3 seconds? So?
And look at her,
Fine.
kind of like she's right there, guys.
Miriam kind of looks away, kind of like ashamedly, not really responding to the conversation at hand, and she kind of like slightly shuffles away further a bit, kind of leaning against the RV.
It's not the worst case scenario, so
See,
take
we're
it
all,
as a good.
we're all here. We're all fine. We're all mostly 100% intact.
Dante, where is he? We have no idea where we are.
I don't know,
We're so lost.
but I mean, we just passed a Denny's.
Actually, real quick, just Dante, make a history check.
That Denny's was ages ago, bro.
Oh fuck, that's a 2.
Leku would remember this.
Remember the
Dante,
Denny's?
you know for a fact that the warehouse you went to was in New York.
Yeah.
You've been driving for about a week.
Mm-hmm.
There's nowhere around New York that looks anything like this.
We're in Georgia.
You look like you're somewhere on, like, the West Coast.
How the fuck?
What?
What,
I don't-
did you just
I don't think
of
we're in
something?
New York anymore.
Well, that's been, like, a rising suspicion the whole time that you don't.
I don't think
just-
we're in Kansas anymore, Tony.
You have no idea where you are. This is the opposite side of the country that you live in and have ever been to before.
Fuck. Don't tell me we're in California.
I'm gonna hook my my lantern to my belt so I don't have to hold it. I'm gonna mage hand Miriam's hand and beckon her over with my mage hand.
She kind of puts her book down. She looks a little exasperated, and she kind of does so, and she kind of gets up and walks over.
I mage hand
Hope we're in
hold her hand
Oregon.
tight, and I'm walking. I'm gonna go see if there's a sign anywhere. And Miriam's gonna
At
protect
this
me.
point, Gale, I would like to make a perception check.
What
Okay.
do your
Oh, here we go. Here we go again.
what do your elemental eyes see?
Oh hell yeah!
Everything.
Oh shit!
Oh, he sees everything.
Let's have a sharp noise and his sonar kicks in.
Julian is the cowardly lion.
Don't bully me.
In The Wizard of Oz, Julian is the cowardly lion. I'm apparently the scarecrow, and the movie ends.
And the
Lucy
movie
is
ends.
Tin Man.
Oh, Elysia is the Tin Man. I read that wrong.
How did you read the Tin Man as the movie end? What?
I read at the movie's end.
Wait,
and
Slime's
read it
cheating.
as
He has the chat
movie.
open.
Yeah, he's cheating.
They got shit.
Shut up.
Cheating! Slime's cheating! Everyone calls Slime
Yeah.
a cheater.
Wow,
It's all
cheating.
chat.
Fine.
What's new?
I guess I'll just
What's new, am I right,
close
fellas?
everything and not know when my stream fucks up if it ever does.
Just business.
Bees knees.
Gale, you see light much sooner than anyone else does pierce through the far side of the road. The fog kind of curls all around the forest clearing you guys are in, but you see these pinpricks slowly come into view, and the rest of you see him a little bit after before Gillian has the opportunity to say anything. And you guys hear the sound of tires against the road coming from the north.
Oh, thank God. A much more coolly sidle over the car this
Oh,
time.
Gale's hiding.
I'm trying to wave him
Gale,
down.
What do you do?
I mean, I guess I'll hide in the car.
So you sort of like run over and then like grabbing the top, you just sort of swing yourself through the doorway.
Yeah.
The
If
rest
it
of you
turned out
see
peaceful, fine, but like, we've been through a lot of shit in the recent few months. Might as well be safe.
pulling up alongside the road
Oh, hell yeah.
is this bright yellow taxi cab. And Julian, you kind of get out in the road to start waving it down, kind of with Miriam kind of shuffling up alongside beside you, kind of squeezing her way through the wedged gap between the two vehicles. And without even time to really like, because of the clearing kind of begins right here. So before it really even has time to see you, it starts moving over to your car
Oh no, it's gonna run us over.
and pulling over to the side of the road.
Oh.
It stops in front of Alesia and Leku.
Well, I think something new's right.
Lazy's gonna try and open the door.
Ooh, new image. Da-da-da.
Alesia, as you sort of move forward and raise your hand,
Oh.
you see the door, the back door of the taxi cab on both sides swing open.
Yeah, she's put it on her saw hand. She doesn't like this.
Like who's looking in the front, like the driver's seat?
Yeah, you're looking in and you see there's a person at the driver's wheel, but you see that the windows of this taxi are completely fogged over. Like someone was on the inside and they just breathed heavily against every single square inch of the
He's got
entirety
asthma.
of the windows of this car.
Guys,
But you
don't
can kind of
presume-
make out through the glasses. You kind of look through. There's this sort of black-clad figure with this big black slouch hat, like a small fedora, with sort of a wider brim, and sort of this long black coat. And it looks like he's got some sort of like mask on, or something like that. There's something on his face that kind of completely obscures it. Like he's a black silhouette of a man that you can't really make out through the window of the car.
I'm running over to the other side of the car. Is there all there?
I don't know about this.
Miriam shuffles to make sure she's never outside of the lights of the lantern, kind of looking around, kind of scared at the cab and the mists around.
Oh yeah, my like mage hand has a very firm grasp on her hand.
Elliot kind of turns to you, Dante.
Yeah.
He says, did you call?
No.
We called
He
an
turns
Uber.
to Yertle.
I pull out my gun. But
Elliot, you see, kind of like drifts a left hand over to his pocket where his gun is too. He doesn't draw it, but he just kind of like keeps it there. He says, "So nobody called an Uber?"
no.
I start like knocking on the window.
What's an Uber?
Don't have whatever small item you
At
guys
least Uber
use.
made it through the
That's-
apocalypse.
Julian, as you knock on the door, the left side of the driver's doors swings open.
Ooh, Elysia's jumping in.
Wait, which is the driver's seat? Hang on. What's American?
Sorry, it's an American car, so this side.
Okay,
American driver's
right,
seat.
yeah. I'm trying to get him to wind it down. I do the wind down motion.
Alesia, also,
down,
it is
man.
fun to mention at this point that Tearfleet is collapsible.
Oh hell yeah!
It's like a little
If you'd like to take him
briefcase.
with you.
Oh yeah, why wouldn't I take my pup with me? He's my.
Well,
he's the
I'm
best
just
boy.
saying it'd be easier to do that than to try to have him like on your lap.
Elysia doesn't do what's easy.
God, the cancellation of blood circulation would be egregious.
So Leslie, you get in the car.
Yeah,
Wait,
she'll
what?
she'll hop in.
Ignore that. That's the headlight. Like
I
it's the headlight out of the car.
No.
You stole the headlight. Oh, that was a creative way to do the headlights.
Can you put it like
Reality.
hold down Alt, put it right backwards, right in the
Yeah,
car?
put right back in
Yeah.
there.
Reality can be whatever I want.
And she's not collapsing Tearful. Tearful's just gonna sit on her lap because he's best boy and should not be punished.
All right.
Never
So
blood
Alesia just kind of gets in
circulation.
the side of the taxi cab.
I lean over to Yertle and I tell him to go get the door.
Go get the door. I mean, I don't think I can fit in there, even if
No,
we
we'll-
tied the door to the roof.
We'll put it in the trunk.
I
It'll be
think we
fine.
should leave
I mean, the door might
behind.
fit in the trunk, but I won't be able to fit in there with all
Yeah,
of us in
no,
there.
I think the door is a thing we leave.
But the door.
I mean, I'll get the door, but are we sure we're all able
I mean, what
to
if we
fit
never
in
come
there?
back here?
I smush my
I'm
face
getting the
against the
door,
window
just-
trying to see him.
I mean, Lizzie's gonna have an easier time. She's in the car.
Just, oh.
All right, and then I cop slide over the hood.
Make an acrobatics check.
A wet one.
Acrobatics.
Okay.
Lecker walks over to Elliot and just goes,
Oh, hell yeah. I nailed that cop
slide.
slide. Straight into the cab.
Yeah. So you cop slide over the red shining hood of this car. You sprint over, and your foot, before you're even off the red car's hood, your right foot is extended and lands on the seat of the taxi cab, and you just like perfectly horizontally slide into the far seat.
Here we go.
And then there's just a cigarette in his mouth and he just takes a puff.
Dante, you can also see that the back of this cab is surprisingly roomy.
Oh hell yeah.
You think you probably could fit like 5 people back here.
Ooh, time to stretch out
What
the
is
legs.
this, a fucking...
Super cab.
Like a big limo.
Alesia,
It's
you're
nice.
currently in the front seat, and you see that like this guy has some sort of like ski mask on underneath this hat and this black trench coat,
fuck.
Well, that's just
but
not
the ski
suspicious.
mask doesn't have eye or mouth holes.
So it's just like got patterns on a blank mask. Like
There's
Mr.
not even
Compressed.
patterns. It's just like you just got
Yeah,
like a thin black like sheet, like almost like a
Oh.
morph suit pulled over his head.
Jeez.
Alesia's gonna kind of slightly rev the saw so it's at least spinning in case she needs it, and just start to pet Tearful.
You see, there's a pair of fuzzy dice hanging from the rear view mirror.
Oh, hell yeah, I trust him.
Yes.
You see that the car's clock just says question marks.
Oh, this is weird.
And you see that the meter on the cab has been thoroughly smashed, like with some sort of like giant hammer. It's just been like ripped to pieces.
Oh no.
And
Is
then
mine
Dante, as
a
you're sitting in the back, you see that the glass window that normally separates the front of the cab from the back has been smashed through.
Oh.
Nice cab you got here.
The what has been smashed through?
Like the
The
middle
divider
window.
window.
The divider window. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just
But yeah, Lecker's next to Elliot and goes, "Are we going in that?"
Elliot turns to you and looks at the car, and he says, "We can always get another one." And he puts his hand on the car, and he kisses the hood. He walks in and sits next to Dante.
Dude, why can't I do the shrinky thing you did to her before? We'll take it with us.
You think he definitely can? He thinks it's broken and isn't like.
That's fair.
Isn't worth it.
Yeah.
He doesn't have insurance.
Well, Julian,
I
like,
don't think you
looks
can have
up
insurance
over the
for stolen
taxi
It's
at
also
Leku.
stolen.
Yeah, actually.
It's stolen. There's
Uh,
no way we can.
I give a whistle for Hans.
The owl just obediently flies to your shoulder.
And I replace my mage hand with my actual hand on Miriam's as I give her a look. And I grimace as I step in and join Dante and Elliot.
What's up?
I look over at the van. Are you guys coming?
Yeah. Gale, it's safe.
Yodel drag the door out.
Are you sure that's gonna fit and not crush us all?
50-50.
I'm not okay with those odds.
I am.
Yeah, I like those odds.
I bank on them.
Oh, the door disappeared.
Where's Gale?
In the van.
Well, could you get him?
I'll be right
Hey,
back.
we're coming.
Mm-hmm. I guess I've answered the question. If your friends all jump off the cliff, would you too? I guess it's yes. Let's go.
Oh, man.
We're not jumping off a cliff.
We're getting in a stranger's taxi.
I turn off my
Better
land
for
when we get in there, though, because...
I mean, we're wizards. If anything goes wrong, we
yeah,
blast
there's
them.
literally,
Two of us have
like,
guns.
there's like 10 of us and one of him.
And then we take the car. Like,
What
we
if
did-
it turns out he's like a fucking primordial? Or
Dude, like, he's gonna be like the taxi driver from, the Vampire the Masquerade stuff. He's gonna be like the OG...
Ben, can you not move the door?
No, I can't see the door.
Oh,
I
can
can't.
see the
yeah, I
door.
can see the door.
There's nothing there on my end.
There is
Oh,
no
it
door.
moved.
There we go. I see it now.
Oh, there's two.
Oh no!
That hasn't happened yet. No double door.
I burned the other bush.
No double doors, boys.
Look, I'll move this one because I can move it. The other one I can't move.
Leki
So-
sends lights off into the forest and dispels them.
I try open.
It's kind of like a cool fireworks show that just kind of spiral off and they dissipate.
I try open the boot of this taxi.
You sort of the trunk has a broken latch.
I'll open it, see how much room there is. I'll mend it afterwards.
Incredibly roomy. You see there's enough room in here for like 3 people to be stacked on top of each other.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's oddly specific.
You see that in here, the only thing that's in the trunk is this blue small little ice cooler.
Oh, no.
Hmm.
Ooh, what's
Or
in the
organs,
ice cooler?
perhaps, huh?
You sort of tip it, like you sort of tip the lid open. You see inside there's like maybe like 4 or 5 ice cubes, and then there are 3 bottled Pepsis.
Oh.
I'll
Take
leave
the
those
peppers.
alone.
What? You madman!
No. I'm going in the trunk. There's enough room for me.
He's not in the trunk!
He's
said
killing
that-
him all to himself.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Just because
No,
there is room
Bastard.
doesn't mean you need to stuff yourself in the trunk.
Well,
We open
no.
up the trunk, he's there just drunk on Pepsi, and we didn't even get any.
You haven't eaten
Michael's-
since Denny's, you fat bastard.
It's like a South Park episode now.
Leku, did you get in the car?
Not yet. I'm waiting for Gale.
Drink all the
Like,
Pepsi, you
sort of-
bastard!
sort of being-
You said there was roughly enough room to fit 5 people in the back.
Yeah. So as
sounded
Gale
like
gets in the
freedom.
car, you see that Julian, Elliot, Dante, Gale, Julian, Dante, Elliot, Gale, and Miriam makes 4. You think that if you got in there wouldn't be enough room for Yertle.
Then
You
my
go
ass
in,
get
I'm
the
going
boot.
to boot.
Leku walks to the back of the car. Are you sure you're gonna be okay in there?
I have some things to survive.
Okay.
Ice cubes and
Um,
Memphis.
Well,
It's a healthy diet.
I mean, you've got the harder shell, so it'd be a comfier ride for you. Have fun, I guess. And Leku stumbles in the darkness back into the car.
215s.
Yeah.
That's for my portent ability, my 2 freebies.
Alright, because you're
Oh
magic.
yeah.
Yeah.
215.
215's perfect.
I know.
At least not a crit.
Could have used that for your wisdom save.
Yeah, right.
I need a
Well, either
I need
one
to
of those.
refill my coffee. I'll be back.
So Yertle, the way the trunk is broken, actually, you can basically prop it up with the door and keep it in there, and then basically kind of sit with your legs dangling out like a seat.
Yeah, he'll do that, but he's gonna make sure he won't be able to fall out. So he has a hand on the door at all times, so
Yeah.
if he goes to fall out, he's gonna rip the door with her. Stay in with that door.
Use it to brace any sort of skids that you get from the road.
No, he won't use the door to brace himself from the skids. He'll put the door on the spot
we
where
go.
the door gets least damaged.
Just prop the
So
boot
as
open
you're
with the
piloting
door.
this taxi, it takes off down the street.
Light speed.
If Miriam
light
is
speed.
worried, I take her hand and give her a smile and tell her everything's gonna be alright. And then I inspire her.
Every little thing.
I give her a bardic inspiration.
She was distinctly already holding your hand,
Aw.
I
and then
mage hand
as
the top
as
of
you go to to hold it and give it a little squeeze, she kind of realizes she's holding your hand and then goes to let go, but then kind of looks around and just kind of firmly grasps
I
it.
don't allow.
Firmly grasp it.
I do not allow any such action.
And then
Firmly
all you
snap it.
hear is glass breaking on the road.
He just smashed a Pepsi on the ground.
Just empty Pepsi.
And basically pulling away through the highway as you go back the way you came.
Oh yeah, back to Denny's.
Oh, back the way we came? Oh no, that's the wrong way.
There's sort of this remains of the fire that just sort of keeps kind of smoking and dwindling out in this little clearing as you leave the car and the trailer behind.
Start humming "Life Is a Highway."
Life is a highway.
And halfway through humming it, you hear another.
If you put your ear near where the boot is, you just hear mumbling and druidic, just praying to the flames to go out in a good way.
I imagine it gets a little bit car sick because he's not used to locomotion at all.
Well, that's
I
been
think
happening
Yertle
consistently throughout this car ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a highway.
I wanna ride
it on
all
my
night long.
You're going my
And that's
way.
all we do for the next 8-hour drive.
Oh, God.
We just saw a sing song.
Yeah, Alesia lets Julian play her arm chords like a guitar.
Oh, hell yeah. I assume you are the one who I commissioned to make my harp shield that I now have. Because I now have
probably.
a harp and a shield in one.
Honestly, probably Alesia. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
As you start singing Life is a Highway, you see the figure driving the car presses the button on the radio,
Oh no.
and
Drowns the
this
sound.
eerie, scratchy, distorted radio tune kind of flickers to life, and an instrumental of that song starts playing.
Oh hell yeah.
But there's random bits in the audio where sort of there's record scratches, or it's the record has been kind of dragged and slowed.
Yeah, screamings of the innocents,
Hey,
Real-
I can simulate that sound right now.
No,
No.
we're good.
I have a record that's exactly like that.
That's terrifying.
I say we hear him out.
I'm pretty sure Yertle can't hear that because it's in the boot, so the sound of wind is just deafening him.
Yeah.
Dante, Elliot kind of looks at you with like this puzzled curiosity, and then he kind of like gestures to the revolver in his pocket and like kind of juts his head like nodding towards the guy in the driver's seat.